So today I want to share with you guys a story of my normal 8 to 5 job. And my hope is that once you listen or watch, or hopefully both, this video, that you will walk away with 2 lessons. One for your leaders and a second one for your, and not in a malicious or derogatory way, but your generic graders, those of you that are not in leadership positions. So it starts off with one of my technicians, one of the guys on my team. This gentleman, I've known him for a very long time, over a decade. Great dude, great worker. However, because of some personal issues within his life, the past 6 months or so, attendance has been an issue. It's been so much of an issue that my manager has noticed it. My boss has noticed it, and we talked about it, and we talked to initially this guy about 6 months ago and said, hey, look, you're showing up late, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, sometimes 10 or 15 minutes. We don't know what the deal is. We don't know what's going on. Obviously, there's something affecting you because this is a habit that just cropped up. But it needs to be resolved. It's not cool for you to come in 10 minutes late when everyone else is showing up at 8 o'clock, if not 5 or 10 minutes earlier than their shift starts, right? We're counting on you to do all the work or, a portion of the work, and it's a bad situation. Okay, I get it. You guys are right. I'll fix it, etc. Well, over 6 months, the issue does not get resolved. And after the first month, I approach my manager and I say, hey, look, we talked to him a month ago about this. It looks like maybe that first week he really improved. There were no issues, but it's cropped up again. People are talking about it. People are, if I call one of my other technicians out and say, hey, look, what's the deal? You were 10 minutes late today. Not cool, man. Your shift starts at this time. You have to be here at this time. Their immediate response is, well, this other guy gets to show up 10 minutes late. Nothing said for him. He does it 3, 4 days a week, 5 days a week in some cases. How is that fair to me? So after that first month of seeing this issue continue to go on, I let my manager know that, hey, we need to take a more drastic action. I don't like to get anybody in trouble. I'm not looking to get anybody fired or, in any type of situation that compromises their job. But at the same time, we're paying you money. The expectation is you show up at 8, you leave at 5, etc. And the other guys were right, that how is it fair that you show up 10 minutes late, he shows up 5 minutes early, you guys are getting paid the same amount of time, and you're getting away with it. So this goes on 2 months. Again, I approach my manager. Hey, what's the deal? We got to say something. Okay, you're right. We'll pull his badge swipes with security, badges and whatnot. 3 months go by. What's the deal? It's continuing to happen. 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, to the point where I've talked personally with this guy as a friend, saying, hey, look, dude, from me to you, knowing each other for so long, like, are you okay? Because you're still showing up late. And then as a manager going, look, dude, you are late. You're compromising your job. You're putting me in a very awkward situation. It needs to be resolved. None of these things work, right? 6 months, he's late. I think the final count was like 70% of the time he comes in 5 minutes late. So finally, my boss gets fed up. She says, look, I've been collecting data on him for 6 months. I know he's late. We got to say something. No kidding. No shit. That's what I've been asking for the past half a year. And we sit down in a conference room with this guy, which is like the worst thing that you can do, right? That your manager and manager above that manager sit down in a room with you with some paper and say, we need to talk about your attendance. I mean, it's the worst case scenario, right? So I'm sure things were very, very bad things going through this guy's head. So we sit down and we go, look, here's the deal. You've been late. We've talked about it, in an official capacity. I've talked about it, individually with you in a more personal capacity. I've talked to you individually on a more, one-on-one technician and manager level. This should not be a surprise. If it happens again, you can leave the building and not come back. And the response that we were given was complete bewilderment. And like I said, I've known this dude for like 11 years now, both personally and professionally. And it was complete, honest, like the most honest bewilderment. And the look on his face, I mean, I can still see it. I can close my eyes right now thinking about this story and telling it to you guys. I can still see it. This look of holy shit, what the fuck? I'm about to get fired. Oh my God. What's going on? I didn't know about this. And his response was just that. I didn't know this was a problem. You never said anything. It went on for 6 months, and if not longer. And you're telling me after 6 months, you're pulling me into a room and telling me these things, and what am I supposed to do? Like, why didn't you guys tell me, like this 2 months in or 3 months in? And I said, hey, look, you and I did talk about it, etc. We've talked about it in official capacity, but yes, it went on for far too long. So, ultimately what happened was we kind of revisited, this attendance policy. We've updated it, on the managerial side, on the leadership side. And he kind of got a free pass. And afterwards, and here's the 2 lessons that I want to share with you guys. For you guys in a leadership position, and I don't care if you're brand new officer or you are a super seasoned, guild leader like myself, you can't wait to call people out on stuff. The fact that my manager was willing to wait 6 months and collect data, of 6 months, if not longer, maybe 7 months, 8 months, I can't remember, of data, and then finally get fed up and call this technician out is unacceptable. After the first few weeks, this should have been called out. And it really put him in a very weird spot where he wasn't getting called out. For 4, 5, 6 months, nobody said anything. And he thought it was okay. Now, my second lesson to you guys, and what I hope that you guys can do, is get a Windows update. That would be cool. What I hope that you guys can do here is from a non-leadership perspective. I've talked about this multiple times, but I'm going to urge you guys to do this, is do a little self-reflecting. And this is hard to do, right? This is hard to do because you get set in your ways, and, if it slides by that first time, maybe it'll slide that second or third or fourth time. In this guy's case, he was late. Nobody said anything. Cool, so it's not that big of a deal. I was only a couple minutes late. And this was his rationale. Talking to him afterwards, he said, look, I was 3 minutes late and you guys never said anything. So like the majority of the time, I just rolled in a couple of minutes late. I wasn't trying to be late, but like, the kid would stop me, or my wife would stop me, or the dog wouldn't use the bathroom fast enough, or, whatever, I took 3 extra minutes in the shower, whatever, all these variables that caused me to be late. And you guys never said anything. Like it went on for so long that after that initial, chat between the two of us, I thought everything was good. And I want you guys to do self-reflection and look and go, okay, were there any issues this week? Is there anything that I could have handled better? Are there anything, that I've done that I could have done better or more efficiently? Does it make sense to do these things? Was I on time? Did I, all these things? And yes, it sounds stupid, right? Like to sit there and go, okay, could I have done something better? Could, this, that, and the other. But taking stock of yourself is incredibly important. It's incredibly mature. It's an incredibly adult thing to do, but it's a thing that it really helps you see that, I've kind of been coming in late. All right, that's something I need to work on. And we've talked about this. When we talked about the leadership traits, we talked about knowing yourself and seeking self-improvement. And yes, it is a leadership trait. It is something that leaders are supposed to do. But that doesn't mean that if you are not interested or not currently in a leadership position, that you can't do this, that you can't go, I screwed up. I need to fix this. This is an area that I'm going to work on. whether it be showing up late, whether it be switching to ads, your rotation, calling things out as a guild leader or a raid leader, strategy, whatever the case might be, working on those issues, figuring out what you're bad at, apparently getting a text, because that's what's going to happen tonight, is every single sound's going to go off. But no, do a little bit of self-reflection and go, hey, maybe next time I record a YouTube video, I should turn my speakers off and my phone off. That's something I can improve for next time. With that being said, guys, hopefully you like what I'm saying here. Hopefully you do a little bit of self-reflection. Hopefully you don't wait too long as a leader in a leadership position to fix an issue that needs to be called out. And until next time, guys, I'll see you.